Hello, welcome. Sorry for being late, but we will start in just a moment. Thank you for joining me. Please hold. Happy Monday, everyone. I hope your beginning of the week was great and you're having a fantastic day today, as always. Okay, let's begin. Hi, how's everyone doing? So glad you can join me today. We're going to continue with our text to speech project, which we managed to get further along last week. And I believe my goal for today is to polish the form before we make a decision about the checkout part, which I think I had an idea last week about creating the record and then charging for it and having records, having ad records created, but in an unpaid state. And we'll see how that works. But today it's all about polishing the form, adding validation, etc., etc. Just making the form look as good as possible so that we can move on to the checkout part. Sound good? Awesome. Just going to take care of this real quick. Good evening from Brazil. Hi, Douglas. How you doing? Thank you for joining me. This piano is nice. You could keep it. Yeah, I'm debating on that because I don't want it to be too distracting throughout the stream. So what I'm going to do is find a way of docking the audio when I'm talking. I know there is a way to do it. I've seen other streamers do it. So I'm gonna find a way to do that and also find similar tunes with jazzy pianos so that it doesn't get repetitive and monotonous. Hamad, my man, how you doing? Thank you so much for joining me. So yeah, I'm gonna get that details ironed out because if I keep it, it's like a 3 minute it's like a 3 minute audio, and imagine that going over and over for like 3 hours. It's like, well, 2 hours. Yeah, could be distracting. Did I post it? Yes, I did. So you go away, and now you. Hmm. Okie dokie. Okay, so let's try and remember how do we end up last week. So if I remember correctly, we were able to submit the form and create records. I'm going to check the database to see if we have a few already created. And I think we do. Yeah, we have like 4. I'm probably going to wipe this out before we begin. I don't want to have any troublesome records there. So let's begin by adding validation. It's a very important thing in a form, and we don't want to miss that moving forward. So I'm going to start with a wipe of the database. And I just realized we're still modifying the main branch, so I don't want to do that anymore. We've done a lot and things can get messy from here on. So I'm going to branch out, create a new branch, new project maybe. Yep. This is like 3 sessions in one branch. New project plus new form. Oop. Gonna stash my things first and then commit. All right, from here, let's create a new branch and let's call it form polish. And now we're ready to go. So let me check. Create add. We should probably start in the add form component and just figuring out what needs validation and what not. It's a kind of a big list. So I probably want to have the validation in a method instead of just properties on each of those. Because this one is required, this one is required. All these 3 are required. Schedule add. Yeah, all but this one are required. Titia? Titia. My best friend, can you prepare a group Discord, YouTube channel Discord in the Discord page to join you? I never thought about that. You mean like having as well as having live chat, as well as having YouTube chat and Twitch chat, having like a channel on Discord for people to chat in? I can set that up. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll have that set up for Friday, if that's okay. I don't think I can do that in the next few days. I'm kind of quite busy, but yeah, I'll have that for Friday for sure. That's a good idea. Thank you. Actually, I know I'm going to forget. So let's make a note. It's official. By the way, yeah, okay, cool. Let me go and refresh my mind about the validation, Livewire validation with methods, because I don't quite remember how that went, how that goes. That's too much. 150 is fine. I think this is in forms. Is it in forms? No, validation. Here we go. Attributes. No, 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 no. Custom attribute name, custom validation message, custom key, form objects. Real-time validation. Custom messages. Where is it? Rules method. Here we go. As an alternative to Livewire's validation, Livewire's validate attributes, you can define a method in your component called rules and return a list of fields and corresponding validation rules. This can be helpful if you are trying to use runtime syntaxes that aren't supported in PHP. It's not quite a thing, but I'm just gonna return an array. Douglas, yes. Protected function rules returns array. Thank you so much. Yeah. Let's do that. Go in here like a normal controller. You are absolutely right. Except is not protected. It's a public function. At least that's what the documentation says. Right. So let's start with audio file. This will be required and nothing else. Add copy. Also required. And business type ID. Radio station ID. Service ID. Scheduled app. And that's it. All right. If I'm not mistaken, we have validation. Cool. But we do need to apply it. And we're going to do that here. So we can do this validate right there. So that'll apply the validation before creating the record and return any errors back to the component if any, but we don't have error messages. If I'm not mistaken, let's see. Add information. We have text area, no error messages. Drop down, no error messages anywhere. If I remember correctly, there should be a component, a blade component from Breeze for the input error. There it is. I don't really like that though. Well, no, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Let's use this. You can make add, create, this, validate to. Let's code. I've never seen that before. But what would happen here? Because I'm guessing that this validate returns all of the attributes that passes validation. Well, return if all of them pass validation, then it's going to give me all of the attributes with their value. But that assumes that they are wire modeled into an attribute or an input field. That is not the case with user ID. That one I am dynamically using the logged in user ID when creating the record. So I don't think that's going to help me here, even though it's less code. And I agree that it's less code because of this specific case. I don't think that's going to work in this scenario, if that makes sense, right? Luis Angel Leguizamon, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. So you're saying grab the authenticated user and create an ad for it, which will set, okay. Yeah, automatically bind the user. Now that one I kind of like. Yes. I am from Argentina. Welcome. Hi. Thank you so much for joining me. Thank you so much for subscribing, and hi all the way to Argentina. So nice to have you here. Yeah, I'm going to do that. So in this case, I would do, because I don't have, I'm using the auth facade instead. I'll take the user. And then adds relationship and then create. That way, I don't need this. And then I can move this here. And get rid of all of that. Not bad, not bad. Yeah, reduces the amount of code. We already know what data go into the validation because of this array here. It looks pretty clean. I like it. Thank you so much. I didn't know that. That's a nice way to create a record. Very clean, very manure. If you want to add more security, you can put the rule exists for foreign keys inside validation array 2. Foreign key exists. Foreign key exists. Is that a validation between the foreign key, the user ID foreign key, and the what goes back into the user? Wouldn't be assumed that it is present because I'm using the user who is currently logged in to create its record. Or am I thinking about that wrong? I can see that if I were not creating the record through the user. By the way, do I have that relationship? Good thing I checked because I don't. Service ID required rule exist services. Ah, okay. Yes, I like that because that way, yeah, like you said, the user cannot inject IDs that do not exist. And because we are modeling that, yes, okay. Yeah, let's do that. That's a good idea. Let's actually do it with all of these business type ID. So it'll be so this would have to be an array. So I always forget the surround command. Hold on. Give me a second. Give me a second. Is it y surround around single quotes with curly brackets? There you go. Don't like that it adds that space, but that's fine. Okay, so let's also do that here. Y surround around single quotes with curly brackets. Same. Why do you not? Never mind. Ah, because I'm doing that. Okay. There. All right. Well, I did a few more that I needed. Let's not do that last one. There you go. Vin motion detected, yes. Vin motion newbie user detected. I still forget the surrounding command, which is, well, the one that I forget is to surround a thing with another thing. I do know how to change the surroundings, but adding a new one, it always slips my mind when I try to remember it. Required exists service ID. Nah, I like the class better. Yeah, I agree. The array notation is way more organized, in my opinion, and yours too. So that'll be rule. Illuminate validation exists, and this will be business types, right? Yes. Sorry. See, newbie. I always forget that I have to do shift double quotes 0p. There. Ah, my fingers don't work today. It's like they're cramped or something. Service ID. There you go. So we have validation on the foreign keys for business types, radio stations, service ID, and I think I think that's it. Okay, cool. Let's see. Oh yeah, error messages. I keep looking for the not save indicator on the file. That autosave was a lifesaver. And by the way, if you didn't know about it, you can go to File and check autosave in Visual Studio Code, and that will make the file autosave on every change. I think I haven't even checked. Yeah, on every change, the file autosaves, and it is perfect, especially if you're a little absent-minded like me. Services, not service ID. Thank you. Thank you. Case in point about absent-minded. Thank you so much. All right. We have validation, right? Abdul, hi. So glad to see you. Didn't see you there. Hello. All right, so back to the template. Now this text area, I want to put the validation probably after this div. I don't know. Full max, flex call. Now it should be inside this div, but after this one, because this is the button to preview the audio. So let's put it here. X input error, was it? I do need to pass. Wait, how does it know? Oh no, this doesn't work. Or does it? No, yeah, it does work. It's just that I need to do this first. This would be add copy. That put that there and pass messages. Yep, got it. Thank you. No, it's not messages, is it? It's message. Yeah, it's message. It's a single message. Does it expect that to be in an array? That's the problem. What's that? Hey, Target X, how you doing? Thank you for joining me. Greetings. I'm assuming you're saying, can you have a checklist show what's next? Or will be time consuming? You mean for the stream? Yeah, you're right. I'm kind of keeping it in my head, and it's kind of difficult for you guys to see. Kind of winging it with this one. I'm gonna yes, I'm gonna prepare like a checklist for next time. Yes, that's totally a good idea. Thank you. Noted. Errors all. That's a good point. Yeah, but I think that's when you want to show all of the errors at once. And you want to have them like at the beginning of the form. Here I'm trying to, I guess I should do that instead, really. Yeah, let's do that. I guess having them for each is kind of... You know what I should have though? The required indicator for each field. Yeah, we're not using Jetstream right now. So I don't have that. This is from Breeze. But this input error is expecting me to pass all of the errors from all of the form fields. So it's going to display all of them in a list, a bulleted list. Let's do this for now. I'm going to move this all the way up here. And do that. Yeah, we could. I don't want to modify the component or create a new one. I think just using it as is would be easier. and just have it at the top and have a list of errors. What I do want though is to have an indicator of the field being required, and I don't think I have that right now. It's not even something that comes with the inputs from Breeze. Let me check. Text input, disabled. Yeah, no. How about the label though? Label? Yeah, not even that. This one I could modify though. I could pass a prop to let the component know that this is a required field. It'll be kind of independent of the list of the validation, but that's fine. Have you ever used Laravel debug bar? It's great tool. Yeah, it is. I have used it, but I haven't used it in a while though. I do remember using it or in Laravel version, what was it? I think I stopped using it on version 8. Don't remember why though. Maybe it was like a compatibility issue between the component. I know it works now. I know that, but haven't got around to actually having it in my projects. But yeah, I have used it. It is a great tool indeed. Let's see if this works. Value required. This one I can copy the input error classes. That's not what I wanted. Yoink. Paste. And maybe how about this? Not what I wanted either. Man. Sometimes in motion just kicks my ass. How about this? Mm, could do an if too, but yeah, I still, well, okay, yeah. Default value would be good. You're right. Thank you. Now let's see if I go back to the template. Let's start with maybe, well, add copy was the text area. I need to add that too. No, actually, wait, I added that to the label. So add copy, and we can say wonder if that works, or I have to do this. Oh, not that. This. Because this is not a literal value. It's not a literal value. It's an actual expression, PHP expression. Let's see. Oh yeah, would be nice to have a beat server running. I gotta try out that npm. What was it? Artisan. I saw a video about it. Artisan run solo or something like that. Something that Aaron Francis created. Like it has tabs and it runs npm. It runs. I think it tails the logs, etc. I gotta try that out. I think just Sear. I hope I'm saying that. Josh created a video about that tool, and you need to watch that and try it. You think? Well, but if I add required with that value, wouldn't that evaluate to an empty string? And an empty string is false. I'll try it. Let me see if it works this way. And we can try it without. Okay, that one works. Now let's try it without the value. It works too. What if I don't provide it? Change. Okay, hold on. Delete inside word. You are correct. And it looks better indeed. Thank you. That looks good. All right, let's set the rest of the fields as required too, which would be this one. And then this one. This one too. And this one too. I guess that's it. Awesome. Actually, let me check. Business type, radio station. I hate that. Radio station, date. There you go. Well, I could make this required and then have a check so that you have to select at least one before reviewing your order. Yeah, I'll do that. Okay. Required if. Required if. All of it is required. And it's required if, correct me if I'm wrong, but required if is for you to check if another field has a value. Am I wrong? Yes, required if another field value. The field under validation must be present and not empty if the another field is equal to any value. For time, for the time, what I want to do is not so much require it if there is values on other fields, but I want to check if you have at least one selected time. I think that'll be the validation that I want to do. Since all of the other fields the time depends on are also required, Yeah, but that's the thing. Date, if date, not date, no. I don't quite follow that one, but date or schedule at, this one here is also required. So I don't have to check if that one is, if that, I don't have to check if the date has a value for me to check the time slots, because it has to have a value on date for this to show up. Once you select a value for the date or schedule at, then before submitting, I am going to check if you have at least one. Is there not empty or some kind of validation for arrays? That one I could check right here. Validating arrays. Okay. As discussed in array validation rule documentation, the array rule accepts a list of followed array keys. That's not what I need. No. No. Well, if I make the times, the selected times, okay, so if I make, oh, it's not here. Where is it? It's in create add. I have an array of selected. Where is it? So it was a click event on the check, wasn't it? And it's wired to selected time slots. Why did I not see that on the form? Oh, it's right here. So I could just make this required. If it well, sorry, if it has a, if it is required, that means that the array cannot be empty, basically. Yeah, I think that works. Yeah, don't overthink it. I'm still reaching for the save command. Convenience is nice to have. So yeah, all I have to do to make sure that the user selects at least one value is to make this selected time slots, which is what is bound to the list of time slots the user selects, make it required so that it has to have at least one item in that array. There. Now, I still need to have an error for that one. No, look. You don't need to add a minimum. All you need to do is set it as soon as long as you set it as required. And I'm hoping I'm hoping I'm right about this, or at least it makes sense that if you make a value required, it has to have something in it. It doesn't need to. At least in my understanding is that you don't need to have a mean of one, because that is implied when you make an array required. Now, if you had a requirement that you have to have at least two selected, that in that scenario you do need a min, right? Because not only you need a value in the array, but you need at least two of them. In this case, I just need one. That's why you don't need the min in the validation rule, if that makes sense. Target X agrees. All right. Let me just go back and check that everyone has a label with, no, I need the error messages. I already put that at the top if I'm not mistaken. Let me just double check before I test. Input error right there. It's kind of hard to see. Let me give it some space. Well, yeah, but in this case, I don't need only one value. I only need to know that it has at least one. Can have 10, can have 5, but at least one. And I think just making it required validates that. If I make it at max 1, that means that I can only have one, no more than that. Is that clear? But this is a checkbox, so I can have 1, 2, 3, 4, but I need at least one in order for you to continue. Okay, let's give this a try. If I just do review order, there you go. So the audio file field is required. The add copy field is required. The business type ID field. Okay, I have to change the name of the message there. This one too, and this one too. Schedule add also. Let's change the validation message there. And yeah, obviously you can see them, but as soon as you start selecting values or add copy, that's highlighted there. That's good. So drop downs don't get this thing around them? I guess not. Maybe I can go and check. Maybe I'm just missing some classes. I'll check. Yeah, let's go and check for the classes on the drop downs first. I don't think we're going to have anything in there unless we make the text red. I don't know. Maybe just leave that. Maybe just check the drop downs. So the text area does have a class. Huh. Wait a second. Oh, I know what it is. Yes. It's no. Huh. How is it getting the how? Oh, is it because of this? Is the only difference? Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Where are you getting that message from? Am I crazy here? Where? I know that it's up here. Uh, no, that's not it. This is quite interesting. So we have the text area. Nothing above, nothing below. There is nothing in the classes that makes it, that gives a red ring around it. How in the world we have an input label, X text area. Wire, is it Livewire? Or is it the browser? Where is this coming from? There is a span just below this. So there's the label. There's a div, there's a div. This is Toolstack UI? How? Why? Why? Since when? I thought I had this. Didn't I? I think that's it. I didn't uninstall, or I did I no, that's it. I stopped using Toolstack UI for the dropdowns. I created my text area component, but this X text area is Toolstack UI is taking priority over that. So that's why it's drawing the text area from Toolstack UI. I don't want that. That threw me off in a way that I don't like. So let's get rid of Toolstack UI for now. Thank you for your service, but I don't need you. Let's run a composer update. There is an attribute to pass and not show the error. I think it's invalidate. Yeah, but that's still on Toolstack UI, isn't it? What I want to do is not have an extra library. I think I mentioned this last week. I don't want to have an extra, a full UI library of components if I don't really need to. It'll be just for the inputs, not really a must in this case. So I stopped using Toolstack UI in the form, but if I use xtext area, which I was expecting, this component to point to the component I created in the components folder. This one I created, the text area, but this one is using the Toolstack UI version. That's what I don't want. That's why I was confused, because my component doesn't have any error messages. Toolstack UI does have those automatically. So that's there, right? Did it uninstall? Removing top stack UI. There you go. Now let's see how it looks now. Ooh. Ugh. Oh, it's still looking for it. How do I make it not do that? Artisan optimize clear. Thank you. PHP artisan optimize clear. I should do the trick, right? You're genius. Thank you so much. See now, if I do this, now I get to do it. I guess I should have copied the classes before I do that. Here's the color, right? It'll be red, what, 500? No. 400 in dark, 600 in light mode. Let's just try and give that a ring when it has an error. So what I can do, isn't that, I think there is a way to add classes. Yes. So I can do class, maybe. And that's actually a directive. Marcelo Sabino, thank you so much for subscribing to the channel. You're awesome, dude. It's 400 here. Now this is predicated on whether or not we have an error on, Jesus, why am I missing all the keys today? Add copy. I think it's like that, right? No. Let me check. I think it's about something about the error bag. Let's see. That's already in the components definition. I can do this. Yeah, let's do that. Yeah, so if we go to the text area component that I created, I already have the attributes merge class in there. So I just need to pass a conditional class if there is an error. And the way that I'm going to do it is with this, using class and then error and error. Let me check the ring classes that we have here. Ring, indigo, border, dark, BG, text, border, border, ring. Okay, so I guess just adding ring to it should do. Let's see if that's the case. It is not. Well, the class is there. It's just not overriding the rest. So I guess I just need to make it important. Was it at the beginning or the end? It was at the end. Matthew Miranda, how you doing, man? I didn't say hi to you right already. You're not here. Hi, kind of off-topic questions. Love those. On filament, is there a way to hide the dashboard link for non-admin role? What's the dashboard link? Oh, you mean, okay. I don't remember where that link is though. I think there is a way. I just can't remember right now what it is. Would you be so kind to post that question on Discord on the filament section, and I will go and look for it and respond there so that I can give you a complete answer without any mistakes. That cool? Thank you so much. And thank you for your question. Oh, come on. Okay, okay. I can figure this out. I can figure this out. It's not catching the classes here, and why can't I see this still? I don't think that'll work. Hmm. You think the border will do the trick? Not even the border. It should. I mean, it's merging it right there. But something about the text area is not showing the border, and the classes are not showing up here either. And why is that? Please let me know. Is it because of the location of this? No, it would affect everyone else's too. Hmm. Okay, that's fine. I need to override that. I guess it's because that copy ring red 600 dark ring, not ring, border. And let me, this is confusing me. What is the import? Where does the important goes? Don't think that's what I needed. Now let's see. Oh, come on, dude. It's got to be before. Why is it so hard to find it now? Never had so much trouble finding this. I think it's before. What? Run npm run build and PHP artisan and I don't think that's gonna do it. I mean, it's not that it's not running or refreshing the styles, is that they're not showing when I want them to. For example, here, the add error is showing even though the validation hasn't run yet, which is hilarious. Okay. Yeah. I mean, it's showing now. What I don't like is that it's showing even though there is no validation still. So it's there and it's working, but not the way I want to. So let's try a different strategy. Let's try the class instead. Well, that's not gonna work. Oh, I think that's because I'm doing it inside. Okay. Okay. No, well, I don't think so. I mean, look at the documentation here. This is how the documentation tells you to do it, but they're doing it right in the input. I am doing it in the component. I'm using a blade component in here. So I think it doesn't like that. Hmm. Well, because I have to do it here. What happens if I do something like this? If I add another class here, it's going to have two class attributes, isn't it? Border red 400. Yeah, kind of breaks it. Class. Yeah, it doesn't really, just has one class. Okay. Okay, let's try that. Let's try what happens if I do class. Yeah, like you're saying, except I'm going to use the errors has, but I'm going to use them in this context. So dark border red 400 important. Oh, but we have a problem. Well, maybe, maybe not. Yeah, I don't know. This is a directive. We're dealing with Livewire. I keep forgetting that we're dealing with Livewire here. This would be fine if this was a normal form that is going to make a round trip all the way to the server and come back, because this template, this directive works on Blade templates, not so much in Livewire components. So let's check Livewire's documentation. There has to be something about that. We're still in validation, aren't we? Yes. Validate rules. Yeah, using Laravel rule object. Fine. Manually controlling. Validation errors. There's the error back. Using custom validators, testing validation. Nope, none of that. So it's got to be in forms then. Submitting a form. Adding validation. Validation errors. Well, that's supposed to be working down then. Anything about changing classes here? Resetting form fields? Nope. 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 Real-time form saving. Dirty indicators, they're bouncing, throttling. Hmm. Okay, so I don't want to get hung up on this anymore because it's not really it's not really functionality wise. I will figure out the border at some point, but let's just move on. At least we have all of the errors up here and the form is validating. So I will get the error indicator on fields and dropdowns, figure out the border around it for the next session, but I don't want to stay in this for any longer. Yeah, I tried that. Already tried that. Didn't work. But I can actually maybe I didn't try that way. One last push and then we're done. That's even worse. What happened? Are you seeing this? Out of space? I did. There's the error. There's the field name. And there is a class. And there you go. Kind of weird. All right. Worry not. We will we'll figure it out. So, but let's not stop here. Let's keep going. I want to finish this today, so it's not bothering me next week. I don't even remember what needs to be done next. We have validation, and I think it's working for the most part. We have all of the fields there. Let's try this test. Choose this, choose this. By the way, if I try it again, is it going to keep my values? Yes. Okay. Audio files required. I have to click play at least once.
This Wednesday, we begin a new project with the Laravel.
Click again. Select business types. The selected business type ID is invalid. Oh, I don't like that. I don't like that. It shouldn't be. Is it the exist validation that we're doing? Discussing that? Yeah. Something wrong with that requirement. It's not validating as I want it to. So I have two things to check. I'm gonna move a little faster here because we wasted too much time on the border. So I'm going to make a list of things that I need to figure out. One is the border, actually. The other one is the foreign key validation. It's not working as I want it. I'll have that figured out for the next session on Wednesday. Let's see. Test. Let's click play.
This Wednesday.
Stop it. Choose a radio station. Everything's getting validated. Radio station. Deselect. I need to change all of those.
This Wednesday.
Schedule add messages, error messages. That's what I needed to do next. Let me remember. Custom validation messages on the rules. Messages, right. Public function, yep. We got there at the same time. You were there first because you were typing as I was struggling. But yeah, thank you. Public function messages. That's also an array. No, that one's fine. Is a business type ID. Only validation attributes. I'm not using attributes for validation here because there are too many fields, and that'll be kind of, yeah, way too much. So I'm not using attributes for validation. To change the name field, but I would need to add the attribute to each one. That's what I don't want to do. So I would have to go in, and for each of those, I will have to add an attribute to change the name of that for the validation. And at that point, I might as well just add the rules to the attributes as well. Hey, the Jade, how you doing, man? Thank you for showing up. How are things going? Going great. Thank you so much for asking. How are things going with you? Business type field is required. And then the other one is service ID. Scheduled at. Finally, I think that's it. Let's try this. Selected time slots required. Try this after attributes class border 500 has error. So I will need a prop. Okay, I'll make a note of that. I will try it before we end. I just want to keep going with this. But thank you. Yeah, that seems like it could work. Did you share the repo yet? No, not for this one, actually. Yeah, no, I haven't shared it. I'll share it before we end, actually. That's a good point. All right, let's see this in action. There you go. Business type field, radio station ID. Missed that one. Right? Business type. radio station, service, date, and you must select at least one time slot. All right. All right. I'm going to try that has error prop. That seems interesting. Can I do that? Can I use dashes on the props? You don't need, you don't think you need to put in the props? Okay. Go to, okay. Let's see. You mean like that? Oh, back. Still getting that. Why? Define index, undefined array key 0. What are you talking about? Oh. I think I know. Nope. I don't know where that key error is coming from. That's the problem. Oh, dumbass. You ass. Okay. You know what that was? This. See? Why? Why is it disappearing? Why is it disappearing? No, that would be a problem. Why are you going away? Please tell me. I don't get it. There is a text area. Why are you not showing? It's very weird. Okay, we tried that. Didn't work. Maybe it's me. It's definitely me. But I'll figure it out. I have all of the notes. We will figure it out for next session. Now we have validation. We have error messages. And I think that's all we're going to have for now. Yeah, we're reaching the 2-hour mark. All right, so let's talk a little bit about... No, let's do this. We are going to live, at least we have validation. That's good. and we know that we can create records. So with that information, I just need to figure out the border on the error indication on the fields and the what was the other one? Right, the foreign key validation, which we should get figured out just to make sure that we check existence, but it's not doing it the way I thought it would do it. So I have to check and figure it out. So next session, I think we are going to reincorporate the text to speech just to try it out. Make sure that before we move on to the next step. That's all right. Thank you, Douglas. I have to go. It's very late in Brazil. Bye. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all of your help, for all of your input. You're awesome, dude. Have some rest, and I'll see you. See you Wednesday. So yeah, we're gonna bring back the text to speech. Try it out with validation. Make sure that we have, before we move on, we create a file. Take care. Oh, that's you, the cheat. Okay, sorry. So we want to create a file before we move on, because clicking play is not a requirement for us to have a file. So when we click review order, if we haven't done so already, we go and we go and do the text to speech request, and then create a file for it. We are going to we need to incorporate the status of the order. So I think we might have to add a new column to the table just to identify paid and unpaid records, which brings us to the next step, which is next session we are going to tap into the webhooks. We're going to test the webhooks first of all. We're going to have a separate page for checkout with just the total, maybe a brief summary of what you're paying for, and then the paddle button. We are going to need to set up the webhooks, which means I have to publish this application we're going to use, what is it? Expose, I think it's called. Expose, yes. Hey, Willie, how you doing, man? Thank you for joining me. So we're going to expose this using her, test the webhooks, make sure that tables are updated, and we're going to add another field to this table, to the ads table, to identify a record as paid or unpaid. And we're going to need to tap into the life cycle of the webhooks, or tap into the webhook response, and make sure that we update that column when a transaction is successful. That is going to be fun. What else? No, that's pretty much, that's going to take pretty much all next session. So did we write any tests yet? No, we're not gonna. This is a testless project. What I'm going to do is share it, because I realize that I have not shared the repo. Do I even have a repo for it? I don't think I do. I have a repo here. Here, let's do this. There should be tests if there is money on the line. But isn't there? There isn't really. I mean, there is, but not there isn't. Yeah. Kind of don't want to write test on this one. Yeah, we're already too far ahead. I'll do I'll make a deal with you. We're going to retroactively add the tests at the end. I want to get everything working. This will be what like the opposite way of writing tests, I guess. So we're going to have everything working, and then we are going to add some tests so that we protect all of the money that we're making with this. All right, so let's go to GitHub real quick. I don't think I have a repo for this even. Code first development. That's right. Let's create a new one. New repo. This would be text to ads. No, that's the description. Gonna be public. No, nothing there. Create repo. So we do have the repo, so I don't have to do git init or add. I do have the commit. I have a main branch. Let me just run this. There's the main branch. Should add everything on the main branch though. Hold on, let me check real quick. No, hold on. Before we do that, let me go back to the branch that I was. Not that one. Didn't I have a... Did you kill my branch? Man, my fingers are not working. Bottom half. What? Was so sure that I was in that branch. So let me just commit everything that we did today. Bottom half on the GitHub page. One sec. Oh, this one. Okay, I did that. So I need to do this. One sec. I just don't want to. So let's head over to main. Thank you. Close everything. And now we can do this. origin. I already said git branch and main, and then just git push. All right. Come on. While you're doing that, I do know that I have a new project branch. Let's publish that. And also the branch that we were in, form publish that as well. All right, so I'm not gonna merge those branches, but you have like a main branch that I think it's mostly untouched. And if you want to see changes from last week or the last 3 weeks, I think you can switch to the new project, and then what we did today is under form polish, just so that we have a like a clean project that you can always look at. And what else was I going? No, that's it. I think we're done. All right. Thank you so much. Main is up with what you were doing this stream. Not in main, is under form. What we did today, it's under form polish. What we did previously, it's under new project. So new project, I think, has, yeah, pretty much the last 3 weeks, I think. If you want, I can just merge everything. Like every time we do something, we just create a new branch and then we merge into it, if that's okay. But I think we'll do that next week. All right. Thank you so much for everyone who joined in. And thank you so much for all of your help. I really appreciate it. I wouldn't be able to do this without you, truly. And if you found any of this helpful, don't forget to click the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Follow me on Twitch if you're not doing so. And as always, I'll see you in the next one. Stand by for raid on Twitch. See who's live today. Okay, there's the yeah. We're gonna go to astrobiology and space news again. Because the other two are just bunnies and ferrets, but the ferrets are sleeping and I don't see any bunnies. So yeah, let's raid her. All right. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you had a great day, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.